Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. Mark again here, WeatherMan Plus. Now, I'm going to give you the latest updates on what's going on because everything is amplifying. Not only severe weather we still have coming for later tonight, big hail cores. I will go through this a little bit slower, a little bit later. And chances for hurricane winds, very large hail. It has upgrades like we was talking about yesterday, and your chances for tornadoes. Remember, all the timestamps will be in the description. That way, it saves you time, bring you to whatever part you need to see. We also have Philippe that's still going towards Maine over here in the northeast. We still have these cool temperatures coming down, and maybe even a 1-2 punch where this is going to happen and begin a long duration event on these cooler temperatures coming in for our fall season. Plus, what's going on in our tropics? Because I'm still showing that we have issues that's going to be happening right around the 10th through the 15th. Now, I'm going to go through everything for you, but everything has to have its little section because there is so much to talk about, impacting so many people in so many ways. So remember, if you've never been here before, make sure to subscribe. I am all year long. Make sure you click that bell so you get to updates. Links in the description as well as the timestamps. I do have some links that will help you all out as well. Now you can see an update on your AO, your Arctic Oscillation, where we're going down for this cool air that is coming to our country, and there's going to be a long duration event going on with that. And you see how with GFS is showing that it's going to go even deeper towards the end of October. If you remember a while back, I told you that we're going into possible another cold temperature spill as we go to the end of October, beginning of November. Now the temperatures with the Euro is slowly starting to come towards what the GFS has been saying a few days ago. You also can see on the update on the NAO, your North Atlantic Oscillation, that you're still going to stay in that negative pattern this whole time. That means cool air is still coming to the center of the U.S. towards the East Coast. Now you see the GFS takes it into a deeper pattern for both of these bumps. And GFS always overdoes things just a little bit. You see the average with the Euro and the Canadian as well. But it's showing that it is going to be, no matter what, there is going to be this block, and it's going to last for a long time. And you can see this just like I showed you before. A negative NAO puts this high pressure block in the northern Atlantic. And then you get that spill coming in all the way towards the southeast while you get that high ridge building. But maybe it's going to be a double dip to where this comes down again and it keeps everything away in the tropics. Because you can see just when you look at the long range with the Euro, not only that negative pattern we're going in now with the NAO, it is going to be a long duration coming towards the end of October, beginning of November. We're going to stay in that negative pattern where cool air is coming through the center of the U.S. towards the East Coast, guys. This is for a couple of weeks. But you can also see with the AO, the Arctic Oscillation, that the cool air coming down with a dip now is going to be around the same level of negative of this cold air coming through the Arctic Oscillation, and is going to dip through a couple of times. Now you can see everything from here with the Euro. You can see this blocking pattern, all this with your precipitable water as we go through this pattern. So you have all these storms, all this precipitable water going in Texas, bringing all this heavy flooding also into Oklahoma, while you get your severe weather event going on for today and for tonight. Now, as this cool front comes down, it's going to push all that to the southeast, while you get Philippe going towards Maine, bringing a lot of impacts towards Nova Scotia and towards Brunswick. But as you see, that cool front comes down towards the beginning of October, as you get all these storms building up in the eastern Pacific. And instead of them getting pulled towards the southeast right there, bringing all this possible storms, tropical storms, potential low-grade hurricanes across the Gulf, across Florida and the southeast, it shows that 1-2 punch of that second cold front that comes down. This is with the Euro. The Euro don't see that far. It sees 10 days. But this is according to the data as well. Now, when you look at vorticity, not only the storms for today, but you can see you get this trough that comes across. This is bringing some possible damage and winds as well, getting to the high 40s and 50s. While Philippe, as soon as this goes on that negative pattern, bam, it goes on that negative tilt. It pulls Philippe to the west, and that's why Philippe come towards Maine and also Nova Scotia. It goes to the west as this goes on that negative tilt. Now, as you get this first cold front, you can see you also get that second one. And the second one is what's going to push all them storms, all the precipitation, all the possible flooding that's coming from this transition further into the Caribbean, not even affect anybody. Matter of fact, when you look at the update on a potential velocity anomaly, you can see the update with the Euro. Not only the storm you're dealing with now, plus a storm possibly in November. You see that one is coming from the 15th through the 20th. All that favorable environment has dissipated. it has milded way down because of this cold front coming through. And the one that come in the beginning of November been pushed to the middle of November. So you can see this here as you go from October 2nd to October 7th. You have all that favorable environment going into the Eastern Pacific and stretching into the U.S., starting to go towards the Gulf. But once you go later than that, once you go from the 7th through the 12th, you see how it dissipated. It went way down on its favorable environment. Then when you go from the 12th through the 17th, it comes back a little bit more as we might get this transition as all this goes out to the east, northeast. Then showing it will go right back down right after that. Just weakens down more and more right after that. Now, so far, latest update on Tropical Storm Philippe has kept it a tropical storm. You do have tropical storm watch out for Bermuda as it passes by. This is in the 3 days. This is within the full 5 days. Now, this upgrades, I will let you know. So far, it has a weakening down to a tropical depression. Some of the modeling is depicting that it could be a low-grade hurricane. However, we do have that cooler water that is out here from previous storms taking all the warm temperatures. But you can see here with the Euro that potential damage and winds is coming in the high 50s, maybe even the 60s as it goes towards St. John, towards Nova Scotia, as it keeps going to the north. Now, maybe the rainfall will add up a little bit for the northeast, not the winds. The winds will be further to the east. But you can also see over here in Atlantic that if it does start curving towards the northeast, these temperatures are such cooler water, guys, from previous storms, it would not strengthen into anything. It will start weakening down. Now, the severe weather has gotten worse. Let me go through that real quick so people know what to expect. We have a big enhanced section now. Now you have the big 2% for tornadoes. I told you yesterday this was going to grow with those storms that we see. So far, here's your cities and states at risk. So far showing in Texas, but you do see it is for Oklahoma as well, guys. A lot of people at risk for these tornadoes and these damaging winds for tonight. So far on your wind threat, hurricane force winds is coming. With this black section, you have at least 75 miles per hour winds or greater and very high winds in that 30%. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for these damaging winds for tonight, guys. Plus your hail. Your hail is going to be very large hail. You've seen all those cores? You look at the black here. All large hail, at least 2 inches in diameter, plus is 30%. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for the damage and hail that's coming with this storm tonight. National Weather Service has put this out, guys. Scattered to numerous severe thunderstorms are expected through early morning across parts of the southern Great Plains. Destructive, very large hail and significant severe wind gusts will be the main threats, along with possibly a couple tornadoes. Confidence continues to increase with potential for a significant severe weather episode across North and West Texas and South Oklahoma this afternoon into tonight, yielding expansion of the Cat 3 severe risk. Now you also see with significant tornado perimeters that right when you get around 4 o'clock and beyond, it starts growing with significant chances of a tornado. Significant tornado perimeters factors in wind shear and dew points, and you can see with these storms building right around 6, 7, 8, and 9 o'clock. All the way till 10 possibly. You have chance for a strengthening tornado right here across southern Oklahoma going into northern Texas for tonight. So you got to be aware of these storm cells coming through, guys. It is a powerful one, and you can see all the heavy precipitation that is in those cells, and it is kicking off at 4, but it starts getting 5, getting really significant with all these cells, and you can see with your tornado perimeters, it really starts picking up once you get around 7 with these cells. Same cell carrying across all night long and going into northern Texas, then possibly a damaging wind event. Plus, it has the hurricane winds coming with it, guys. You do have your cape and your lift all that time, so it does stay strong all the way until around 8 and 9 o'clock. Once it gets 8 and 9 o'clock, it really starts dissipating. So as that cell passes through, it is going through a lot of convection, a lot of chances for that to grow. So just be aware of that. Because that same cell that's going all through Texas is showing still around 100 miles per hour. According to HRRR, you always downgrade it. But you definitely got the 70 and the 80 that's going to be coming with that cell as that goes all even along. Multiple areas showing chances for 70 at least. Definitely get into the 80. Look at the heavy precipitation on that cell. That is a nasty cell. Right into convection, right into Cape. also bringing the winds. So if this does show true with what HRRR is seeing, you really need to pay attention to that storm cell moving across tonight. That is dangerous. Plus, when you look at updraft holistically, you can see that you have chances for very large hail to come in those cells. That's going all the way from the Panhandle of Texas, across Oklahoma, into northern Texas, back again by later that night. Chances for large hail in all these storms, but especially that cell that is forming up. That is looking like a really nasty cell, guys. Really got to pay attention for that one right there, the 12Z. That is a nasty cell showing right there, and it has good chances to become a lot of hail in it, tornadoes, and the hurricane winds. That's dangerous. Look at this. When I look at HRRR 15-minute increments, as you're starting at 5 p.m., look at all these storm cells that has 70, 80, up to 90 miles per hour wind gusts on them as that gets kicking all the way until 8 o'clock. Look at all these possible storm cells. Also all the way until tomorrow morning, bringing a lot of that flooding for y'all as it goes all the way. Then you will get more flooding that's going to be coming towards with Philippe. But you can see this adding up with National Weather Service model. You're going to get anywhere from 2 to 3 inches, almost 4 inches over here by Houston. Also northeastern Texas. A big hot spot. That right there is 5. That is over 6 inches of rainfall adding up right there. Northern Arkansas as well. A lot of flooding. You do have a moderate section for today. And you can see the same heaviness with the Euro as well, and what Philippe is bringing towards the northeast, where you could be looking at more flooding. It's like every weekend y'all just have flooding over here. Could be all the way from New England and east. A lot of heavy flooding, anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe even more inches of rainfall. So for today, of course, you do have this heavy flooding risk. You do have the big slight risk, but now you got the big moderate risk right over DFW, Oklahoma, and western Arkansas as well. And it goes all the way to Houston with this slight risk. And it goes all the way towards San Antonio with that marginal risk. And that is for today. Now, this is going to lighten up a little bit for tomorrow. You do have a marginal for flash flooding a little bit further to the south. Now, as you go through Saturday, now it's going to start adding up over here for the northeast, bringing you that flash flooding. Also for Sunday is going to sit there because of what Philippe is bringing y'all. Plus, when we get in this pattern, you can see what the models are suggesting. You can see what the Euro is showing that Philippe could actually be a high-end tropical storm right on the edge of a potential hurricane, guys, as it comes by for Sunday. You get that block that we've been talking about in the Eastern Pacific, and Euro is agreeing these storms are coming towards the east. Now, it could either strengthen up a system on land, or it could be pushed away with the cold front out into the Caribbean. You can see the same thing with the Canadian as it goes up towards the northeast. Chance for a high-grade tropical storm, low-grade hurricane as that passes by. Then still showing the same thing. These are going to come towards the east, right towards our Gulf, right towards the south, and bring a lot of flooding. And the update with the GFS shows that it's still coming across the Gulf, strengthening tropical storm, coming right across the U.S. But look at this difference. The GFS sees that double bounce of the cold air, but it shows that that could still sneak in while we get that ridging going on before that trough comes down and still bring all that flooding somewhere towards Texas and the Gulf Coast states. Now, when you check the chances for a tropical depression with the Euro, just in the next 10 days, you can see it starts curving towards Florida. Now, when you look a little bit further with the EPS, you can see a little bit further than 10 days with the Euro. And you can see as that goes towards 10 days, it all builds up towards the southern half of the Gulf of Mexico. Starts curving towards Florida. But when you go a little bit further and go 11 days, you can see it still favors something going over Florida as that crosses over on this transition. But you can also see the update on global tropics that they're showing from the 11th through the 17th. That this is where they're expecting cyclones to form. We've been knowing this, and favoring the Eastern Pacific with heavy rainfall in the green, above average temperatures in all this brown for South America, and below precipitation right there in the brown. And as you go from the 18th to the 24th, staying in that method, staying in that pattern where we have something that can form up right around Central America. Now, there has been a trend of very heavy rainfall coming all across the south and the southeast. This is the Canadian. The GFS, it showed that tropical moisture could bring a lot of flooding. On the update, it really localized a lot of that flooding, still showing that low path on the latest update, guys, on the 12Z. It shows that push out that the euro has been showing, and you can see that here. Latest update on the euro shows the same thing as the 12Z on the GFS. This is all getting pushed away. You can also see this on Weather Prediction Center that as you go through Friday and we get that cool front coming through, as you go through Saturday, Sunday into Monday, it just pushes all the way into the Caribbean with that front, guys. So it really is what it's looking like. What the euro has been showing, this is going to push everything away. Philippe is going to strengthen over here in the Northeast, barely hit New England states. It's going to mess with Nova Scotia the most, and then that cold front is going to stay there all the way until Wednesday. Plus, possible long duration event. Looking at the cold temperatures that's coming in late October, beginning of November. The climate forecast system is showing that right when you go towards the end of October, that this cold air is going to come all the way down even further into the south with the freezing conditions possibly coming with it. That was the 28th. This is the 29th, showing it could come down and bring the cold air again. Now, I have this link in the description for you. This is from National Weather Service. This is your low and your high temperatures as we go all week long. So as we go for tomorrow, as we go through Friday, then we get them cool temperatures coming down. You see, you do get some freezing temperatures. As we go through Saturday, we got some 20s, some 30s, even some 40s going way down to the south. You're going to be on a nice warm up. You're going to be in the 60s and 70s still. As you go through Sunday, cool air going all the way towards the southeast. Now, northern Florida going to be in the 50s. Your high is going to be in the 60s and 70s again. As you go through Monday, the cold air is going to keep going towards the east. High is going to be up there again. Now it's going to be a little bit cooler in the northeast. So Monday is really going to be a cold day for the northeast. And Tuesday, the cold air is going to be there again, guys. So remember, this link is in the description so you can go kind of time in your day a little bit better with temperatures according to National Weather Service. Now, we have our chances for the wind. We have our chances for the hail. But let's go by our chances for the tornadoes. And let's take a look at these cells real quick. Try and get a little bit better timing of when these are going to come by. And you can see it does ramp up as we go right into the evening. Right when you go 5 and 6 p.m., all these cells have a lot of nasty hail cores. This is going to be, large hail is going to be its biggest event coming out of this. Large hail and the damaging winds. 8 o'clock, as you go towards 9 o'clock. It starts weakening down a little bit as you go towards 10. But once you go towards 11, look, now you got the front induced coming in, and now you're getting the damaging winds coming through as it starts passing by Dallas and the DFW. As you go all the way to 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, still coming through by 2, by 3, still coming, still have hail cores as it goes by Waco. As you go by 4, look at it, still got hail cores all the way by 4 o'clock in the morning. 5 and 6 looks like it's weakening down as it goes further and further towards Houston, as it goes towards tomorrow morning. So that's when Houston is going to see it. Tomorrow morning, there's a couple hail cores in there for you. Houston around 7 or 8 o'clock as that pushes offshore. Tonight is definitely going to be a lot of hail cores. So just be careful because it's going to easily spin up a tornado, guys. But when you get these hail cores that have this, like all this black, that is indicative to a lot of hail cores that is coming with this. 71 dBZs. This is going to be some very large hail that passes through for tonight, early tonight, in the morning. It's just going to be very strong. God bless you all. Please stay safe during these storms tonight. But thank you so much for your time. God bless you and your families. Hope you have a very great day. I hope this video has helped you in some way. Sorry for the late video today, guys. I was going to upload earlier, so I had to redo all my content, get the latest updates on them because I had to switch it out because I had all kind of technical difficulties. I had all kind of adversities that I had to go through. It was unbelievable. This video was not meant to be made today, but I did make it. So here you go. I hope to help you. God bless you. Hope you all have a great night. Psalm 57, 1 through 3. Be merciful unto me, O God. Be merciful unto me, for my soul trusteth in thee. Yes, in the shadow of thy wings will I make my refuge, until these calamities be overpast. I will cry unto God Most High, unto God that performeth all things for me. He shall send from heaven and save me from the reproach of him that would swallow me up. Selah. God shall send forth his mercy and his truth. And Selah means think about what you just heard. Amen. He shall send from heaven and save me from the reproach of him that would swallow me up. Selah. Have a great night, everybody. God bless you again. Thank you so much for your time. And remember, all glory always goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I pray he always keeps you safe every day of your life, you and your families. Forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen.